know if this is actually on or not. For crying out loud. Because I'm not seeing it show up in. Hmm. Very weird. There we go. And it shows it's live. For crying out loud. I'm not on this at all. Let's see here. That should be what it's showing. There we go. Okay. Um, let me turn down the volume on this thing. There we go. Now I'm. Listen, I just was bored and I needed to. I need practice on this thing, so I'm here to. I've got to do some scanning and exploring some different things. One of the things I'm looking at right here is a an old diary. Let me see if I can get an overhead of that. So this is what I've got here. And of course, every time I go to do this, it doesn't want to do it. Let me refresh, reconnect, and I think I'm okay there. Yeah, we're back. All right. So what I've got here is an old diary. It's a really old diary, actually, from the 1920s, and it's somebody that lived in Palo Alto, I believe, California. Um, I can read. I can read most of it here, but it's really interesting. These people are going to go to China, from what I gather, and they're going to go aboard. They can go through South Africa as well, but they've gotten some really interesting things here that they've included in the diary. Let me pull this around maybe and get a little bit better angle on things. That might do a little bit better for this. Hey. Hey, Jimmy and Kathy Harrell. Hey from I'm not even going to try and say that name. Mississippi. So what we got, yeah, welcome. You're the first one on this. This is not my regular thing. I'm really trying to, let me put a different thing here. I'm trying to, I've got the wrong one. There. That's still not the one. Now we'll just do it that way. So what I'm trying to do is work out the kinks on an overhead. I mean, gosh, why does this do this? On a live broadcast I'm going to start doing here, and it's going to be found treasures, closet memories, and faded dreams, and it's about all of the really interesting stuff that I've discovered over the last 20 years and digitized. And I'm hoping that folks like you will stick around and watch. Anyway, that's from the date is 1921. This is from Singapore. The letters. What's this? British goods are best. It says on the stamp. But what they did was they went over to China, and it was right about the time that the Chinese were really getting hammered by the Japanese folks over there. That's one of the British Indies, the ship they were on. P&O and British Indies Steam Navigation Company. And I guess this is a list of passengers. And they're going to Shanghai. Actually, they're leaving Shanghai the 12th of April, 1927, and they're heading from Marseille and London via Hong Kong, Singapore, and Colombo. And here is and all this stuff needs to be scanned. If you can, see if you can read that. I got to get it over. Where am I going to get it to? The camera, right there. Interesting stuff. Hey, Scott. Yeah, happy Easter to you, pal. I got the studio up and running, and I'm working on trying to work the kinks out. I wish you were here. The telegram, and it's to Lyle McLean, care steamer Korea Maru, sailing Tuesday for Japan, San Francisco, California. This is dated March 14th of 1927. So that's pretty cool. Bon voyage to you and your mother and father. What a wonderful trip to start out upon. Sorry I didn't know sooner. I would have had a better steamer surprise for all of you. Good health and much joy and safe return. Best wishes and love, Verona. So that's cool. A telegram. This is a Hotel Europa in it looks like it says, I think it's Singapore. That's over in Singapore. There's a message on the back. Mama and Papa had one of the, I can't really read what it says. Oh, they're talking about one of the rooms on the right. So apparently there's on the right hand side over here, their rooms are over there somewhere. This is the RNA barracks at Steamer Point in Aden. There's nothing written on the back, but kind of interesting. You have a loud popping in your audio every so often. I suspect it's your mic cable moving when you move. Actually, it can't be. The microphone is. The microphone is right there, and it's not anywhere near me, so it's got to be something else. It's going to be something electronic. I'm not sure what the heck that is. What I'll do is I'll record a long session, or I'll play this back later on, and I'll try and figure it out. What's going on? Is it unbearable? That's probably the question. This is to Miss Grace to Miss Grace Schreiber of 53 Bystad Springs Road, San Mateo, California. And it's got the letter inside of it and so on and so forth, but it'll be something I get scanned later on. This is really, as I said, this is something a Romance of Aden. It looks like it's a poem. It was written by Major H. Wilberforce Bell. And it was published for Major H. Wilberforce Bell by the Eastern and General Syndicate Limited. And it was given on May 4th, 1927. The Romance of Aden. History and romance are indissolubly bound up the one with the other, and perhaps there is no place or country on earth having some sort of history has not also had its romance. The two are handed down, and generation to generation, and in Eastern countries, and in particular, we often find the romantic, predominant over the historic to such an extent that historical stories become distorted and apt to be apt to be regarded as mythical and imaginative products. Even the grain of historical truth which they contain being sometimes entirely hidden. Happy is the country with its romance and history equally authenticated. So that's something definitely worth reading later on. I'm not going to do it right now. Another letter here. Let's see. Scott, it's not unbearable, but it's loud and distracting when it happens. I'll do something about that. I appreciate it, Scott. Again, hey, listen, I'll slip you a few bucks. Just go ahead and come on over and take a look at it. From Tennessee. Smooth water all around with widespread undulations like a silk. I'm not sure. Comfort. At any rate, reading some folks' cursive is not easy to do. But I'm going to start, when I scan this stuff, I'm going to put it on my, probably my Facebook channel, and that way people can read it and investigate it themselves. I'm not sure if it's going to go to Facebook or if it's going to go to Patreon. Patreon would probably be the wisest thing to do. Old leaf from something. Somebody probably got to identify that. They had a microscope. And then the actual diary itself is really pretty interesting. I read little tiny bits of it, and they talk about what's happening to the Chinese over there in Shanghai, and there's also these little drawings that the author did of different things. There's another one right here. There's another little flower. Another little drawing. Something. I'm not sure what that is. But that's coming soon. I'll get that digitized, and I'll try and decipher some of what it says, and if people are interested, I'll start reading it on the channel. The other thing I'm doing is, and I'll go ahead and I'll start this right now. A fellow that actually began his own channel, a friend of hop in your Learjet and pop on over. Have a pizza roll. Yeah, actually, Evelyn makes pizza from scratch. Everything from the crust on through, the whole thing. So I'm gonna start scanning this while I'm doing some other things, and we'll switch on over to that. No, wrong one. And this is the first thing I've scanned since I've moved everything around. Get the overhead going on that one, and I'll move this so that people can see what's going on here. Audio is loud and clear and video is excellent. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is the first test I've actually done, or the first section I've done to where everything is actually working pretty much like it's supposed to, other than, as Scott said, the loud popping noise once in a while. And I'm not doing bad with the with the budget I have, which was like really minuscule. Believe me. I just Scott, I just picked up a PNY A6 RTX A6000, and I'm sure you know that the cost of that was like incredibly hurtful. It cost me a bundle for that one. So between that and some of the other stuff I've had to buy here, let me see if I can get to a different camera. Yeah. And that, of course, I don't know why that keeps on. There we go. I've had to do a lot of just kind of hashing this thing together, but so far so good. It's turned out pretty well. I'm using an iPad up here for my overhead cam, and I have a Sony Handycam down in there as my face cam, I guess, if you will. And eventually I have another a couple more iPads and that's more video card than I can ever own. Yeah, well, the thing of it is you're probably doing better than I am. I don't know if you've done a benchmark or not, but even with a $9,000 computer and a $5,000 video card, actually $5,500 video card, I'm still, my benchmarks are not what I figured that they would be for spending that kind of cash. That's actually fairly annoying, but it is what it is, and it's I can. The nice thing is I can run the computer for like forever, a week at a time, and it's not going to hurt it. But still, I figured the benchmarks would be better. This is, if I can, let me find. Let me switch over to something here. This actually belongs to a fellow named Doug, and he and his wife have started a channel of their own about silent film. And if let me get another iPad here real quick so I can look that up. Let me use this because it's worth it. If you like silent film, you'll love this channel. If I can, no, I'm not going to do that. That's not hooked up to anything, actually. I've got another iPad around here someplace, and be doggone if I know where it's at. Well, I guess it don't really matter. I'll go ahead and I'll find it this way. Okay. I have such a hard time with going between iPad and between my iPad and the computer. I get mixed up about where everything is at because I'm using different software on them or different programs or something. Oh, I know how to find it. Okay, it's Silent Film Restoration Channel. The Silent Film Restoration Channel. If you have a chance, go there. It's pretty cool. I just upgraded to the new version of Video Enhance. I did, yeah, and it began crying. I had to roll back. Huh. I didn't have that problem. I'm running two video cards right now. I'm running that brand new one, and I'm running my old 4000, NVIDIA 4000. So I need it because the streaming through the Elgato, I have an Elgato interface that goes between the computer that's doing uh, uh, this over here right now, goes to the other computer, and then I'm seeing everything pop up on here, and you guys are seeing the results of it with the video running right now being captured. So because I needed what I needed is I needed the stupid USB-C port in the back of it. I didn't actually need the card. I just need the USB-C port in the back. I don't want to spend another, $100 on another card to go in the back. There's, because that's in order to get something reliable. That's about what you have to spend. Let me go back to this. So that's going, and while that's going, okay, this is a 1928 Popular Mechanics magazine, and I love these old things because they have such great articles in them, and you'd be amazed at where we're at today compared to back then. Is not really that far. I lost one of my magazines. Somebody took it or whatever, but it was a really interesting magazine. Had some great ads in it, and one of the ads was for telling people to stop using their gasoline operated washing machines. They'd actually put gasoline in the clothing, and they would wash the clothing with gasoline. And I guess they were having a problem with the little things blowing up. So it was an article telling people to stop using those. They had a much better washing machine available. Um, do a benchmark on your AI one of these days. I'd like to see what you're getting versus what I'm getting. Actually, maybe I don't want to know. That probably hurt my feelings. Yeah, this is really cool. Really great magazine. And I think what I'll do is I'll switch over from that. Let's get over here. That's the nice thing about the about being able to do this. Except for the, looks like it's going to be a little bit too much lighting for this. I'm going to have to do something about that because you really can't see unless I get really right up close there. That doesn't do any good at all. I want to do this on the fly. I don't want to have to scan everything ahead of time, but I guess that's probably what I'm going to have to do until I get some of this yeah, that's just way too much light. Or, oh, I know what's going on here, for crying out loud. My fingers have touched. the settings on here. There, that's a little bit better. I was trying to figure out why it was so bright. My finger hit it, made the settings go manual. This is bad. So, and there, yeah, okay. So yeah, you guys can see that now. Well, if I put it in front of the camera, you can. But it's actually pretty good. This 1928, and some of the articles are just super, super cool. Get it under here. See that one right there. Get into this big pay work with my amazing new simple movie method. Hey, right up my alley, man. That's pretty cool. Electricity, aviation, autos. Electricity was not new, but it was fairly new back in that day. Hunting oil with dynamite. Yeah, I wonder how that worked out for him. Hang tight, I'll go to the other computer. Okay, system, information, Windows. Okay, with one time my Artemis, I'm doing 20 point something or another. Yeah, all my stuff is roughly twice what you're getting there, which makes me feel better. Thank you for what you do, sir, and hello from Washington. Hello, Mr. Rocks, Mr. Rocks. Hello and welcome. Thank you. I love what I do. You have no idea. I just think it's so cool to be able to share it with other people now. That's a really interesting thing. Okay, that's with the older version and the Intel card. But the Intel is a $330 card. Okay, well, I'm still doing all right as far as I'm concerned. I feel okay about that. As far as the benchmarks goes. The old mill dancing, and you know, I've scanned a whole bunch of this stuff, and what I ought to do is I should just pull it up on the in my archives, because I've got so much of it. It's really neat. And this and I go back over to here for a second. There we go. And that's the video that I'm digitizing right now. And like I said, that belongs to Doug. And he's got, I've got 3 other reels of film belonging to him here. If I can get a overhead. Is that overhead? It's overhead, wrong one. So, good Lord. So there's 3 more here. This one right here is Jamaica. This one right here is something Rios. Ocho Rios. So there's 3 more reels that I've got to do for Doug. I don't think they're going to be that interesting, and I don't think Doug really cares about them either, because they're not. He was looking for stuff that might have his family in them, and these others may not. This might. There's a possibility this might have his family in it. And if it does, and Doug, you see this later on, let me know. Wow. Well, anyway, yeah, I'm happy with that. You're right. It is. I think it is doing fine. So keep it that way. Um, so I think the guy's got a hot dog there. It's like a cold hot dog. This film was about 1960 or so. I don't think there's a date on it. Ouch. There's no date on it. And Doug, if you do see this, if you want a copy of it, I'll clean it up before I actually scan it for real. I'm just scanning it right now just to see. There we go. It's actually come to the end. And we'll go ahead and okay. So that's at least that went well. So some of the stuff I was talking about, going through my archives, I've got 60 some odd, 64 terabytes of material on distributed between two RAID systems. So let me go ahead and show you that. Visuals PC. So what we're looking at here is this is just a one of two major directories on this one right here, and this is all the stuff that's on there. And it goes back and forth between, some of these directories have many other films in them. Let me see here what's really kind of interesting. These are kind of interesting. These were slides, 35 millimeter slides that were taken. These are Kodak Kodachrome slides from Alaska. And I had to do a lot of cleaning up on these because they had a lot of mold on them. And if you know anything about editing photographs, it takes hours and hours. Oh, that's very cool. Thank you, Jimmy and Kathy. That's awesome. These are, like I said, and I love looking at some of these. You go ahead and you zoom in and just all the detail. The movie, what's the movie? Now showing The Curse of Frankenstein. And I can't tell what the other one is. That is at the Avenue, 4th Avenue, the 4th Avenue Theater. It's like, I'd say that was Tom's radio, but I think it's Adams. It looks like an A over there, ATOMS, Adams Radio. Players Cafe. Oh, yeah, absolutely beautiful, beautiful detail, beautiful color. Anchorage Fur Rendezvous. I love the detail in some of those. Just very, very cool. I wonder if either one of these still exist. Linda B. or Lady May. Elaine H. Oh, that's beautiful. And I love the airplane. That's the airplane was one. I guess they were flying in this aircraft. Or no, one just like it. It's over on this side over here. Oh. So that was Alaska Air, I think, in Ketchikan. All the old cars. All that Detroit iron. That's when America would make a car, for crying out loud. I don't know what's going on there. It's much mounts going backward. Let's go over to if I can find it here. Okay, I don't have the. I watermarked this aircraft, the files from these that I was sharing, because this aircraft still exists today, but it actually it was in a crash that all but destroyed it. The front end, it hit some trees. They were doing a landing and hit some trees and it caught fire, and pilot and co-pilot were killed, and so it was rescued. The aircraft was rescued, and now it still flies. And I can't remember offhand. You can look at the number, wing number N. I think it's N8419. If you look at that number, you can go and you can find that aircraft. It still exists. Kind of cool. Outdoor life. Oh, I love these. These are well, some of the magazine ads I was talking about, but more it was the this 1941. These are the art is excellent. Good night, Scott. Yeah, I know you got to go to work, so take care, man. Well, that works. I'll have to find out. I'll have to find out what that is. See, during the war, the guys they're out in the jungle and they got their saws going on there, and their uniformed helmets and their boots. These jungle-eating chainsaws are powered by the same kind of two-fisted engines that speed your fishing boats through lakes and streams. Engines built by the same engineers who made your Mercury outboard motor the sweet-running, dependable pal that it is. Again, going from the field with his shotgun and his dog, and going hunting, to let's hope it's sooner. So we're coming home. Again, Sports Field Adventures and Accidents by Colonel Townsend Whelan. 44. I love that. I love the rooster. Cool watercolor looking. probably is watercolor. One moment, please. There's someone on the wire. A couple of soldiers, and I guess he's went ahead and he shot himself a sniper in the tree up there. Buy war bonds and stamps. There is no substitute for experience. Johnson's Seahorse. I love those motors. I love the shapes of them. They're just so cool looking. And not exactly politically correct, is it? These days. I'm not even going to read that. You can read it yourself. And that was February of 1944. Little motor with a big load, Evan Rood. United we stand. And yeah, that's pretty patriotic. I love that. I don't think you've ever seen one of those before. Bendix Aviation Corporation. That was $79.50, and the other one was, I guess it's twice the engine for $129.50. Twice the engine, twice the money. I love the artwork on these. It's just so good. I've heard people talk about, in some of my videos, they talk about people smoking cigarettes, and what's just amazes me, and it's not their fault. They don't really understand. I was born in 1957, so I grew up with smokers. My mom smoked, my dad smoked, my grandmother smoked, my grandfather smoked, my older brother smoked, and it just the world smoked. I've got 1960s, I think, 50s or 60s photographs of the inside of City Hall in Los Angeles, and or the main courthouse. I can't remember which one, but the floor is littered. It's masses of cigarette butts where people stomped them out on the floor in the courthouse, and that's how it was everywhere you went. And if you were in a hospital and you got your smoke, people smoked in hospitals, and you got through with that cigarette, you put it on the floor and stamped it out. Grocery stores. It didn't matter where you were at. Cigarette smoking was absolutely not only was it accepted, it was you were somebody if you smoked. Really, according to television, even doctors would recommend that people would smoke just to ease their nerves and relieve some tension, or to settle their stomachs. Almost anybody with a name in Hollywood, politics, sports, different business, airline pilots, engineers, all of them got on television and they recommended you smoking because that would make you somebody if you smoked. And that all went on until sometime in the 70s, I guess, and then it started reversing itself. But for almost a century in this country, cigarette smoking was it was part of life. Even in the military, when you got your C rations, you also got, I can't remember how many cigarettes, but it wasn't a pack, I don't think, but at least not when I was in the service. When I was in the service, you got like 4 or 5 cigarettes in your they weren't C rations, they were K rations, I think. But at any rate, you got cigarettes. So I'm probably talking. Is there anybody out there? I think I'm probably just talking to myself right now. But it's being recorded, and somebody will see it later on. And like I said, I just want to go ahead and I want to test all this out to see how it worked out. Well, I guess, let's see, where are we at with that? Should have been Sony Cam. There. Actually, it should be the other way around. I have to fix that. So it's visuals, PC, and yeah, I've got to fix that so that it gives me, so I should have, see, that's backward. Hey, what's going on, Bandit? Anyway, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hang this up. I just, like I said, I wanted to check it out and see what people thought of it, and I guess I'll hear later on. So, anybody that's out there or going to be out there later on watching it, thank you for hanging in there for as long as you did, and we'll see you on the next trip. By the way, I'm going to do, I've never gotten into the community thing, but I'm going to start putting notifications on community, and it'll be describing some of the things that is going to happen here. Like I said, this is not just a test. This is actually a precursor to the kind of thing that you'll see in the future. And it's going to be there'll be two different shows. One will be found treasures, closet memories, and faded dreams, and the other one is going to be about Sacramento. Too many things in my head. It'd be called Daily 15, Sacramento, California, and that'll be at noon, 5 days a week. And it'll be 15 minutes of some of the old photographs and film and diaries and negatives and photo albums, just all kinds of things, primarily about Sacramento, but also in California in general. Because I live here, I tend to have collect a lot of that material. So I think you'll enjoy that. Anybody from Sacramento or anybody from California or anybody that knows about Sacramento might enjoy it. But it'll be a 15-minute deal every weekday at noon, and that'll start in May, and as well as the other show, Closet Memories and Faded Dreams. That will also start in May, and that's most likely going to be on Sundays. Everything that tells me that my demographics show that for YouTube show that most people show up on to watch my channel on Sundays in the afternoon. So I'm figuring about 5 o'clock in the afternoon every Sunday, and well, I'm going to try for every Sunday, but that takes a little bit more prep to do because it'll be about specific things, including I'm going to do something about my life as well. I've lived kind of an interesting life and had some interesting, cool things happen, and so I'll share some of that with you folks at the same time. Maybe a couple minutes of that every broadcast. Anyway, thank you for watching, and have a really, really good day, night, or whatever happens to be. Oh, happy Easter, by the way. That's tomorrow. Other than that, thank you very much.